We are officially into Spygate 2.
And let's give Jay Glazer some credit for breaking that story and getting that video.
Excellent
job.
He
does
Jay,
a great
of course,
job.
A friend of the show. He's been on several times. He's our colleague over at Fox Sports.
I've known Jay
Fox Sports, period.
Since he used to work at the New York Post, Chris. That's how long I go back with Jay.
No, he does a terrific job of covering the NFL.
Yes.
And he broke the story where he got the video of the interaction between the Bengals security guards and the videographer for the Patriots in the press box that has sparked this latest New England Patriots controversy. Here it is.
And this is a piece you're filming on your advanced scout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, guys. I don't see the advanced scout in this footage.
No, it's not. We were trying to get some field perspective. My bad.
That's not the field.
That's
why you would think you could take that.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Sorry. But I can delete this right here for you.
Damage is done, my friend.
No, it isn't, because we deleted it.
Once it gets deleted,
it's gone.
it's gone.
22 yards line,
It's gone.
29 yards on the punt.
I can't
No
get that
return,
footage.
29 yards.
There's no way I can get that footage back. I'm being honest with you. And I don't have a computer to even put it anywhere. Once this card, that's it.
Yeah, I don't see the advanced scout in any of this video they're shooting.
I tell you what, and that was played on Fox Sports all day Sunday yesterday during the football show with Michael Strahan, Jimmy Johnson, Terry Bradshaw, all those guys. Again, great job by Jay Glazer. But, Rob, the Patriots videographer, that's the freelance guy, I guess, he sounds guilty.
He just does. He's like,
right?
What?
Like, he
knew he was doing something wrong because of his response, right?
Right. It sounded like before they even said to him, hey, you can't shoot the sidelines. It sounds like he already knew that he couldn't shoot it, that he was wrong. And then if I'm caught, and I'm just sharing my personal view, if I get caught doing something wrong that I really didn't know I was doing wrong, like I'm really like, I had no idea. My first response isn't really, well, let me delete it. I'm going to get rid of it. We can make this go away. It's like, hey, what?
Right.
I didn't even know that was wrong. Why? I can't shoot the sideline? That's what the scout's looking at. He's looking at the sideline. Why can't I shoot?
And this is what they told me to do, right? This was my assignment.
I don't know if he'd say that, but you would say, look, I'm here to shoot the advanced scout, and what he does, he looks at the field and he looks at the sideline. That's what I'm shooting. I had no idea I couldn't do that. And, but he sounded like he knew. And he was kind of cool with it. Like, look, I can delete it, make it go away. I don't have a computer. I can't save it. Like, you know what I mean? It almost like he was trying to cut a deal.
Right.
And Rob, look, I think you, and I'm not saying this as a bad thing, I think you want them to be guilty.
Well, only because of the checkered past, Chris.
Right.
It really is.
And I'm not.
If this was their first offense, it would be different. But we just have a history of it, and there are a lot of people who love football in the game, and it's just like you don't want it to be at a situation where someone is cheating or
right.
Like when we love the Astros, right? And what they've done, they turned their franchise around, Chris, and won 100 games or more the last 3 years, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you hear about this scandal. Doesn't it change how you look at them?
Totally. And that's like, I don't want them to be guilty, but I'm not going to sit here and be blind. I don't want to think the 20-year run of dominance is tainted.
Right.
And the saddest thing, Rob, is because you hear everybody, and I would tend to agree, but you hear everybody saying they don't even need to do it. Like, why are they doing it? And I would tend to agree with that. But this brings all this cheating does make you have to at least consider maybe they do need to do it. Maybe this is why they're always more prepared than everybody else.
Right.
Maybe this is why they know the little things that nobody else knows about their opponent. Maybe this is why they always seem to make the right adjustment. I'm just saying.
It makes you wonder, Chris.
It makes you wonder. I would tend to believe if they don't need it, they still would be great without it. They just got an issue. They got a problem. They're addicted to it, to cheating. But you do have to at least consider the other alternative. Maybe they need to, and that's the worst thing for the NFL and the Patriots, Rob, if that's true.
No doubt about it, and I think what people don't get when they say the Bengals they were 1-12. They don't need any help to beat them. They're terrible. It's about getting footage and file footage that Bill Belichick has done with coaches. It might not be. They got a new coach, Chris. He don't have anything on him.
It could be 2 years from now.
It could
right?
be down the road for tendencies. Let me go look through the tape. Let me see what this guy does. All that kind of stuff. So people can't just automatically say that they don't need help to beat it. When they had the Spygate and the big fine and everything that went on, it was against the 4-11 Jets.
Right.
What help do you need to beat the 4-11 Jets?
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
You can't use that as an excuse to say that this is ridiculous. They don't need help to beat these bad teams, dude. And I think a lot of damage has been done. I told you this, Chris. I've heard from a lot of my friends who are Patriots fans, and not that they're going to act like what's happened disappeared or anything, but they just feel like I can't do it anymore. I can't keep making excuses and taking up for this franchise. How could this happen again after what they've been through?
Exactly. You can't play dumb if you're the Patriots.
Right.
If you're Bill Belichick, if you're Robert Kraft, you can't play dumb.
Of all the teams, they know about it.
You've already been accused. You've been charged, convicted of filming, and then there are other incidents where you were charged with it, but they didn't have enough proof, right? The Rams and the Panthers in the Super Bowls they won. They just couldn't prove it. So you know this. And so you of all teams need to tell your videographers, look, don't film the field or the sideline. And same thing with, Belichick. Here's the other thing. And I know their do your job thing is real. I don't know if it's a front or what, but it does take place. If you shoot an advanced scout, you almost have to shoot the field and the sidelines because that shows what the scout is doing. If you're just shooting the scout sitting in the press box, writing down notes or whatever, using his binoculars, it's natural to say, I got to get what he's looking at. But here's my point. The point is not, they're innocent because, of course, you got to get the field and the sidelines. My point is, you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Right.
Some of these people, you're not going to be able to shoot them doing their job. And you got to know that. Let's face it, Rob. The Patriots are the smartest football team franchise in the league. They don't want to give away any of their secrets. So if they really have this superb advanced scouting team, they're not about to put it on the website. So it's just, I don't know, man. We talked about it last week, and I want more of a thorough investigation, although clearly from what I'm saying, I feel like there's too much smoke not to be any fire.
Right.
And if they are found out, and I don't know if this is enough or if there needs to be more, but if they're guilty, then Bill Belichick has to be suspended for at least a year. I've said a year. You said indefinitely. And then he goes through some type of evaluation or whatever.
Right.
But something has to be done to send a message to everybody else that the integrity of the game is above everything else and everybody else. No one's above the rules. And in fact, that's almost a direct quote from the NFL with Bountygate.
And you know what? You're right on the money there. There is an integrity thing that the NFL has to be very careful with fans. Integrity is the key, Chris, and you just said it. To let people know that they're going to protect the shield, and no one is going to have any monkey business going on. And what you're watching on Sunday is real and hasn't been altered or played with. So that's why you have to be serious about it. You cannot poo-poo it.
No doubt. I mean, and here's, even if they're innocent, like let's say it is an innocent mistake. If you come down hard on them with a year-long suspension or whatever, so be it. Because your track record, you should have known better. What did Goodell say to Sean Payton, the Saints coach, when Bounty
Gate, right?
And Payton said he had no idea about it, he was entirely ignorant of it. Goodell said you should have known.
Exactly. You're the head coach. You're running this thing.
Right. And for all the times, because you've been caught twice,
right?
Spygate and Deflategate. You got away with it perhaps 2 times before Spygate. So for all the times you didn't get caught,
right?
I mean, let's face it. The football world is going to applaud if the NFL comes down hard.
I totally agree.
And even as you said, even some Patriots people, if they're honest, will have to be like, man, hey, what you gonna do? We get it. We understand. We might not like it. We understand. That's where it is, man. This is bad. This is bad. All right. Should Bill Belichick have known that the Patriots were illegally videotaping the Bengals sideline? And if so, what kind of suspension does he deserve? It's your turn to weigh in.
All right, Chris, let's kick it off with Robert in Tacoma, Washington. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yo. What's up, Rob and Chris?
How
it's
you?
An honor.
What's happening?
Man, it's an honor. I can't believe I'm on the air with you guys. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this Bill Cheater for a while, man. It's crazy. So let me start off. In the beginning of the year, before all this madness happened, I was kind of giving the Pats the benefit of the doubt that they're doing good, man. They were doing awesome.
Right.
18 years, nine visits to the Super Bowl, 6 wins. You got to give them props, right?
Right.
Like nobody's been doing this, right? But this comes out, man, and then you start wondering, they didn't be doing this the whole time? Did they do this to my Seahawks? Did they know? Is that why they knew what Marshawn Lynch was going to run? I mean, I wasn't going to run, and they were going to throw the ball. Is that how they've been cheating?
They did jump that play pretty.
They did. They jumped it. That was unbelievable.
It's crazy, man. So all I have to say is I truly believe that they are cheating, and they've been doing this the whole time. And why would they guys say, I'm going to delete it, don't worry about it. We could just brush this under the blood.
Right.
No, man, you wouldn't be saying that if you were innocent. You'd be like, okay, take the footage. When you're done with it, give it back so we can finish our document, right? No, he didn't say anything like that, man. This guy is totally guilty.
Yeah, no, because he, at the very least, and this is giving him the benefit of the doubt, because he sounded like he definitely knew it was wrong. But at the very least, if you had no idea, you wouldn't know how serious it is, right? You're a videographer. You would think, so I filmed their sideline.
Exactly.
What? What do you think? Only astute football people, and then obviously followers of the game closely, know that that's just something you can't do. It's against the rules. So I don't know, man. The dude sounds guilty.
All right, Marty in Kentucky. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Marty?
What's up, fellas? Happy Magic Monday.
That's right, Magic
man?
City Monday. Oh my!
I gotta tell you guys. Last week I was leaning with the Patriots. I thought that this was too obvious and they were too smart for it. But now, after hearing that guy talk, and him being so concentrated and focused on getting it deleted and getting rid of it,
right?
I'm very skeptical. And I think maybe the Patriots' plan was to hide in plain sight. And I feel like the last caller, I go back to January 27th, 2002 AFC Championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers before Spygate come out. They knew every move the Steelers were going to make the whole game. And you go back and watch it, you can tell. And then I hate to hate on winners, but, it's just getting pretty obvious.
And
I hear you, Marty.
Remember during Spygate, what came out in the reporting years later it came out that they were told, people in the organization were told, if you get caught, say you were filming for a television show. Right? Say you were filming for a show we're doing.
So they already
That's
had
exactly
an excuse.
what this is.
They had an excuse already built in case knowing that they could get caught. No doubt. Amir in Philly, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Amir?
What's up, you guys? Oh boy, Chris, you went from watching Roger Goodell comes out and says this is nothing to flip-flopping.
When did I say that?
You didn't say that last week.
Nah, look, Amir, you always stop it. You always calling up trying to jump on me. Now, hold on, Amir, before you get hung up on. You always calling up here trying to jump on me, and you misquote me 80% of the time. Rob, from day one, Rob, what did I say?
You said that you were leaning towards. Day? Yeah, I'm trying to remember the exact wording. I don't want to. But you weren't giving the Patriots a pass.
Right.
No.
So what's Amir talking about?
Amir,
Chris,
what did he say? Go ahead.
Chris, you said last week, watch Roger Goodell will come out and say this is nothing. I listen to you guys not only on live but afterwards.
I am me. I know what I said, and even if I did say Goodell's going to come out and give him a pass, that doesn't mean I think he should give him a pass.
Amir, where are you?
What point are you trying to make?
Amir, where are you on this?
I'm here just as simple as this. You don't give cheaters the benefit of the doubt, and everybody keeps doing that, which makes them continue to cheat. Stop it. Cheaters. Let's just call it what it is. And Tom Brady's not the GOAT because he has the answers to all the tests. Joe Montana did not. Bye.
All right, thanks for the call. Wow. Eric in Washington, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Hey, fellas. Hey, listen, I agree with that last caller. Brady's not the GOAT. He's been cheating. What's his name? Belichick's not the greatest coach. He's been cheating. I'm talking about max punishment, and I mean max punishment. Remove 3 Super Bowls. He's banned from this Super Bowl. He's banned from 5 years down the line Super Bowls. You got to hit this guy in the mouth, and you got to hit him hard and knock him down.
That's the death penalty.
Yeah.
Take away 3 Super Bowls. You can't ban him for 5 years.
I just don't think that they're taking away Super Bowls. I'm telling you, I don't believe that baseball's taking away the Astros World Series. I don't think that's going to happen. Look, but you got to come down hard on the organization.
Here's what you have to understand: that the league doesn't want they don't want this to be totally, a negative situation. Like, the last thing the league wants to admit or to have come out is that the Patriots have been cheating all along for the last 20 years.
No, right.
And that's a big part of why they've won these Super Bowls.
No, that
is the last thing the league
wants. Would hurt the league. Let's squeeze in Eli real quick in Montana. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Make it quick, Eli.
Yep, my buddy from Seattle had it right, man. They've already been guilty of stealing defensive signals. Do we need to start looking at them stealing offensive signals? That last play against Seattle in the Super Bowl, that was super fishy at the time, and even more so now. That's all I got. You guys are great. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, look.
You can look at it that way, Chris, right, and go, it looked like they knew what was coming.
Like I said last week, Rob, you only need a small advantage when you're talking about world-class athletes, because all these guys and teams are great. All of them. So any little advantage, and look at the Patriots' victories in the Super Bowl. The first 3 were by 3 points apiece.
Yep.
Then you got an overtime. You got the Seattle game. You got the comeback. Like, it's just, they all have been really close. And if they've indeed cheated in these, then that could be the difference between them winning and losing. Senior NFL writer, our man, friend of the show, Charles Robinson. Charles, welcome to The Odd Couple.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing on a Monday?
Doing great.
We are great, man.
You mean Magic City Monday?
Don't let him drag you down, Charles. That's Big Daddy. I know y'all go back, but you wrote a great story a couple days ago, and here's the title: NFL's tough position in Spygate 2.0 probe. How can it hit Robert Kraft without triggering a war? Explain what you mean.
Well, so when I was at the owners' meetings in Dallas last week. Had a chance to talk to a league source, and this would have been on Thursday. And I said, "Look, you've had the tape. You've had it since Sunday. You've talked to the individuals who at least were initially involved in this. The Patriots have admitted guilt. Like, how long is this going to drag on? Like, really, realistically?" And they pretty much said, "Look, we're dealing with Robert Kraft here. Like, we're going to have to make sure we have every single thing squared away before we can really do anything." And to me, the implication was this was a guy who, despite being one of the cornerstone owners in terms of the business of the NFL, he's been a handful. Whether it's Spygate 1, Deflategate, Spygate 2, the spa nonsense that took place.
Right.
It's been a busy year for the Patriots, but really a busy dynasty. And I think Deflategate, they know that when they went at it with Robert Kraft and didn't have everything completely locked down and had to use what kind of looked like junk science at the end, Kraft went after Goodell so hard that I think it planted a seed in the mind of Jerry Jones. And then when Jerry Jones went through his Ezekiel Elliott stuff, Jerry Jones ended up just declaring war on Roger Goodell before his contract.
Yeah, he wanted a coup, right? He tried to...
absolutely. He wanted to strike him down. He wanted to go after the king and depose him. And and I think the league knows that Jerry felt emboldened by Robert Kraft turning on Goodell during the whole Deflategate thing. And so I think they're sitting there going, look, this might just be literally the height of idiotic mistakes. Like, literally the one thing they could never do again, they did. But it may actually be just a complete catastrophe from a video editor who just was stupid. But they can't just let him skate. They know that. So they know they're going to have to punish the Patriots. They know they're really going to have to punish Robert Kraft because ultimately he's the guy, who's got to get tagged for this. But you got to do it in a way that doesn't cause Robert Kraft to turn around and go, okay, we're going back at this. All right, well, that's fine. Go ahead. You hit me hard. I'm going to hit you back, and we're going to go to the mattresses.
Charles, the thing that I can't figure out with some people in our business or whatever who totally poo-poo the whole thing notion, and I get it. You say, well, what can you get from it? Right. They make all these excuses. But there are certain rules. We know in the NFL the way you wear your socks, where your pants are. There are all kinds of other things. And even when people try to discount the air in the football, there's a reason for all of that, right? There's a reason. Yeah. So I don't understand how people can just, and help me out, like act like it doesn't matter. There's a rule and it was violated. I don't even understand. Wasn't it?
Okay, well here's I'll give you two answers to that. The first answer is I spoke to someone else who they from another franchise. They had done their own kind of featurette on scouting. He said we followed our guy around with a GoPro, all this stuff. He said we knew when we got in that press box, there's no way. He was like, there's no way. We can't be screwing around taping the field. We can't be taping other teams. Like, we knew. Like, there was no getting around that. We were smart enough to know that. Everybody knows that. And he goes, we never did it before. We didn't get caught for, like, taping. Like, we weren't even the guys who should have known, and yet we knew. So there's one aspect that you should think about. Number two, they can't get anything from it. Okay, let me tell you something. I know it's the Bengals, okay, but where does Zach Taylor come from? He came from the Rams, right?
Yep.
Now, conceptually, when guys break off from franchises and they go to a new franchise and they're implanting all this different stuff into their new franchise, what are they doing? They're carrying over the entire playbook from their last franchise that they came from. The Rams, pretty damn good team, right? Pretty good team. Maybe, and not only a pretty good team, but you played them in the Super Bowl the year before. It's a team that's concepts are forward-facing, like this is where the league is going, okay? And who's going to present it in the most raw form possible than Zach Taylor, who's leaving, right? He's just going to lay out essentially what he's got. So don't tell me, it's just the Bengals.
Right.
No, the Bengals are running the Rams system.
And that, Charles, you're right on the money. And the same thing Chris and I talked about this, is Belichick making a file on Zach. You know what I mean? Like,
it could be for 3 years from now.
For down the road, or to stockpile information. So
Charles Robinson, Yahoo Sports senior NFL writer, joining the Odd Couple. You pointed out in your article too, Charles, the similarities in the way this was filmed as far as what they focused on to Spygate. Can you kind of explain that, the original Spygate?
Yeah, see, now we didn't see all the, now, and props to Jay Glazer, because had it not been for Jay Glazer, we wouldn't have seen any of the stuff back in 2007. But what he had, the limited stuff that was rolled out there, it was, coaches signaling, it was a sideline. Now, it was a different angle, but I think when you looked at what was on the tape versus the Bengals, the second I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is the worst. I mean, this is pretty much the worst it could have possibly been. Because in my mind, I had heard what it was, but until you actually see it, it's panning left, it's panning right. Okay, it's following players onto the field. That's a position package and substitutions. And then it's pulling back and reframing the sideline. Now, people will tell you, hey, well, that's what the advanced scout does. This is what he does. They're trying to shoot sort of from his vantage point for this show. I'm like, really, you need 8 minutes of this? 8 whole minutes
8
of this?
minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then on top of that, the audio doesn't help, where it's like they're super eager to delete the stuff. And then, the best part of the whole tape, though, is it's totally underrated. It's the Bengals security guy, where at one point they're offering to delete the tape, and you literally hear him crack, like kind of laugh.
Start laughing.
and you're like, man, this is a 1-12 Bengals, and even they know, man, this is like a catastrophe for these guys. So,
Charles,
the video was similar to Spygate 1. Anybody who wants to say it wasn't is just wrong. The only difference is this was only 8 minutes instead of a full library of tapes.
Do most people in the league, I mean, I know you haven't talked to everybody, but is there a general feeling that you sense that other teams want the Patriots punished and they want them punished hard?
I think it varies. Like prior to that piece of footage coming out, I had a chance to talk to, when I first sent text messages out when this all first came out, in like that morning, there were like 5 guys that got back to me, and then probably since then, it's probably like, I don't know, around maybe a dozen. And every single one of them said the same. They all wanted to see the tape. Now, they all disagreed on should it be made public and all these different things. Should they be punished? But in terms of, did they all think the Patriots should be punished? There were some people there were a few guys who said, look, I could see it being an honest mistake. Like, the video departments now are doing more things with the personnel department. It's absolutely possible that somebody makes that mistake and tapes something they're not supposed to tape. And most people are sort of like, how could you do it in the press box in front of everybody? You're wearing team apparel, all these different things. And then other people, who I think you're talking about people who've been in the league 15 years and who are around for Spygate 1. The well is poisoned with those people. They're never going to be over it. They're always going to be angry about it, and they're always going to say, no way, you don't let these guys off. You don't let these guys off for anything. That's awful. They got busted. And if this wasn't the Patriots, if this was, some other team, that it didn't have Robert Kraft, like flip-flop it. Say it's Mike Brown. Mike Brown, look, I'm sorry, but the reality is Mike Brown, as a franchise, they're not valued the way that the Patriots are. And, so there's a chance that Mike Brown might actually get a hit harder than the Patriots would in this situation simply because Mike Brown isn't valued the same way Robert Kraft is in those leadership circles.
Hey, Charles, last thing. You're a big-time investigative reporter. I need you to get the Bob Kraft video, all right? Can you break that story?
Rob is dying to see that for some reason, Charles.
Yes. Nobody needs that panning and zooming.
Oh, my God.
Nor do we need the audio. We don't need the audio either.
Right, we don't need any of it. Charles, man,
thank
excellent
you, man.
work. Keep up the great work,
Happy holidays,
man.
Charles.
Thanks. Yep, happy holidays.
All right, fellas. Yeah, have a safe holiday season.
Thank you. Hey, it's The Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob. And we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, oh, yeah!